Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Alan family, and our my friend and our Mufti Nauman. How are you this morning?
Brother, brothers and hasanat wa alaikum assalam. How you doing, Sheikh G?
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. How are you?
Doing good, man. Getting ready to get this story time rolling for all of our viewers, man.
All right, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. So we're gonna give a few minutes for everyone to join. We are starting book two. We remember how exciting book one was. For those of you who are joining us and you have no idea of what Planet Omar is all about, we're gonna give you a little summary about what happens in the first book, inshallah, and then the second book is Planet Omar, the unexpected super spy. So Mufti Saab, how are you this Saturday morning?
Doing good, man. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I think there's no more exciting way, man, than to get our Saturday morning started.
Yeah.
Story time. We have our viewers and Planet Omar Part 2. Man, I'm
Mhm.
excited.
And this kicks off, by the way, today kicks off like an 8, 9 day stretch of holidays for the Thanksgiving break for a lot of our viewers today.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We're going to go ahead and get started with story time. Before we get started, today we're going to go over chapters 1 through 5 of Planet Omar. Before I go over, there you go. By the way, there's a link in the comment section that you can use to submit your pictures and show us how you enjoy story time. Let us know. And submit pictures. Let us know how your family enjoys story time. You see over here. And also, don't forget to throw this on the big screen, okay? So your kids don't have to look like this and squint and read the book. So yeah, go ahead and take a few minutes to go ahead and you can either use the YouTube app on your smart TVs, and if your TV ain't that smart, you can probably stream it on the TV, or just give them the iPad, right? Just give them the tablet if you're into Androids. So let's see right here. We have I have a whole bunch of other pictures. We actually had last story time. We had little Rumaisa with us, joining us, and she did the reading for Zado Potato, okay? And she had her family members watching and enjoying all the way from South Africa, right? Where it's not winter, okay? It's not fall over there right now. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started with the characters. So this is the first book that we went over. This is Planet Omar, Accidental Trouble Magnet. Omar is a name of a kid who has a little brother, an older sister, a mom and dad. They move into a new city, a new town, a new school. He makes a friend, and he also stumbles across a bully. All right. So I'm gonna give you a little background of the characters involved. Omar is the main star. Okay. My name is Omar. This is my face. I have a huge imagination. I hate carrots. I once raced against my dad's car on my bike and won. That must be a really slow car, huh, Mufti? Isa the messy
Or a really
baby.
fast bike.
Yeah, don't be fooled by this 3-year-old's innocent face. He can scream and cry louder than an ambulance siren. Bits of food can always be found in his hair. Plays with my stuff and makes it all sticky. I love him, but don't tell anyone. All right. Then we have Maryam, the annoying sister, okay? 13, but she thinks she's 16. Knows 28 surahs of the Quran by heart. Awesome. Was once caught hiding a stash of peanut butter cups under her pillow. Gotta love that Reese's, right? Loves to tease me even more than she loves peanut butter cups. All right. Mom doesn't know how to say no. She's a scientist. She is hardly ever seen without a cup of coffee in her hands. Speaking of coffee, Mufti Naman, you got your octane? You got your octane with you?
Starting with water today, man.
Oh, you're starting with water today. All
Yeah.
right. Now, this is what she looks like without her hijab on, when there are no men around who would be allowed to marry her if she didn't already have my dad. And let's talk about dad. Look, you got the little beard going on. I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the dad, bro. Huh, Mufti? I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the dad. Apart from the really loose suit, which is obviously not.
Yeah, back in like early 2000s, and I think we've kind of moved away from the baggy clothing.
He has a beard because he's copying the greatest man who ever lived. I've never actually seen his face without it. And the greatest man ever lived, he's talking about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a beard, right? So, you know how the saying goes, beard lives matter. Save them, don't shave them, right? Yeah, so that's the motto we go by. We'll never eat a beet. I think I can relate to that. I don't like beets. Yeah. We like Mr. Beats, right? But I don't know about beets. Right? Maybe Beats Audio, but not Beats, right? He's also a scientist. He has puffy hair because he says it's because of his genes. He rides a motorcycle. Grandma tries to puncture the tires because she doesn't think it's safe. All right. And then the imaginary dragon that lives in Omar's imagination, right? This is who Omar summons every time he is in trouble or every time he needs a hand. Omar had a really grumpy old neighbor that couldn't even get won over by biryani. No, she got won over by biryani. Yeah, the kebabs. She would always make fun of the Muslim neighbors, but eventually she became a nice lady. Oh, look, John, these Muslims are frying smelly onions again. She would always call her son, but we know how the story ended, and she ended up every night at iftar eating biryani at the Omar's house. Then Daniel the bully. Okay, Daniel the bully. Now, at the end of the book, Daniel was no longer a bully. Daniel was actually really good friends with Omar because Omar helped Daniel from peeing in his pants when they got lost at the subway station, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing how saving someone from peeing in their pants could make you a friend. All right. Charlie, this face right here. Charlie is Omar's freckle-faced, thick glasses friend with one tooth missing. And hey, Mufti, what does he always say? It's what?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay, right?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay, right? And Omar's teacher, okay, I don't know if the teacher is gonna come. Let's see if the teacher comes in this book, right? Kind teacher, and she has curls, and when she's in a jolly mood, her curls bounce, and then when she's upset and angry, they are twisty. They're like the twisty part of a drill bit when she is angry. Okay, so now we are gonna go ahead and get started with Planet Omar. For those of you who are watching online, make sure we always support our authors. Every book that we feature on any of our programs are obtained and purchased electronically, and that is how we support our authors and make this program available for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Crash! That was the sound of my ceramic stormtrooper bank breaking into 100 pieces. I had turned it upside down and tapped it against the metal leg of my desk because I thought that was a good idea for getting the money out. It wasn't. But at least my money was there, and it looked like a lot. I needed it out to buy this really cool Nerf laser blaster I saw on TV. I had accidentally broken my last one the time we had a Nerf battle at my cousin Riza's house. I'd been imagining that everyone was turning into man-eating giants with green warts all over their faces and got a bit carried away. That's the best part, pretending you're running from something way scarier than your cousins and friends. While I was counting my riches, Mariam came in and said, "You're such an idiot. You know there's a little rubbery piece at the bottom you can just open the thing with, right?" "I know," I said. I actually didn't know, so I felt kind of dumb. I tried really hard to think something smart to say, but in the meantime, Mariam tried to sit on my wheelie chair, which wheeled itself away from her with a mind of its own. She completely missed the seat and hit the floor, and we both almost wet our pants laughing. Wow, we got a lot of people almost wetting their pants in this book.
She disappeared back to her room after that, leaving me to add up all my coins and bills. In total, I had $42.53. Super cool. That had to be enough to be able to buy the Nerf blaster. I borrowed mom's phone and called my best friend Charlie. After I told him, he said, "Whoa, how did you get that much?" I put all the money I got for Eid and all the money I got for my birthday in there. Dad said it would be worth the wait for something awesome if I saved up. Oh man, that's cool. I spend my money the minute I get it. I told Charlie that I used to do that too. But then I imagined that if I saved enough money, one day I could pay people to let me drive even though I'm only a kid. That's brilliant. And maybe I would end up with enough money to buy a Ferrari because they're only like $150,000, which surely couldn't take that long to save.
Only, right? Only
Only
$150,000.
$150,000, man.
I think that's in a good. I think you're in a good position if you use the word only and $150,000 in the same sentence.
Do you look at a $50 bill a strange way? Any bill that's not 100? All right. Next slide. Mom shouted up the stairs that it was time to get off the phone and put my shoes on to go to the masjid. But she said it really nicely, and she even called me sweetie. So I didn't think it was that urgent. And I kept talking to Charlie and daydreaming about my Ferrari. Charlie was daydreaming too, because I said I'd pay people to let him drive as well. Then mom came in and blew my ears off. I said, "Put your shoes on." Yikes. Bye, Charlie. Our masjid trips had become even more fun since dad started coming with us. He changed things around so he doesn't have to go to the lab on Saturdays anymore, which means more cool things can happen on weekends now. He even took me go-karting recently, which was the best Saturday ever.
I couldn't find my left shoe, and mom was going to lose it if I didn't get this done in 15 milliseconds. Yes, I saw it on top of the sofa and grabbed it while dad stood over me with a face like that emoji whose lips are very straight, who are a very straight line. But when I went to put it on, I saw that it had been treated to a dose of my little brother's slime in a bucket. I didn't dare complain or look for other shoes, so I shoved my foot right in. It was disgusting. It was like stepping on a gazillion zombie eyeballs. Ew. I squished and squirted my way to the Peanut. That's our car, by the way, and jumped in. At the mosque, when we were all praying, Isa sat on my head and made me laugh. I had to control myself before it turned into a full-on giggle fit. So I imagined that there was a supervillain holding me in a headlock, and if I laughed out loud, he would blow up the whole entire universe. But if I kept quiet as a mouse, he would release me, and the universe would be safe. Whew! I managed it. I was pretty pleased with myself, especially when dad turned and cling, winked at me when the prayer was finished. I know why he did it. To show me that he saw Isa on my head and that he was proud of how I'd handled it. Also, because when he's in a good mood, he's always in a good mood at the mosque, and he has a different sort of smile on his face when we're there. Maybe it's a secret smile that's only for Allah or something like that. I think he's really glad we found such a great mosque close to our new house. All the others mom made us try out when we first moved are miles away. Dad says he's happy that it has the kind of vibes that make him feel closer to Allah. Mom and dad like those kind of vibes, and they say you don't get them in every mosque. Everyone is really nice to each other, and it's quiet, and light comes streaming in through the windows on sunshiny days. So yeah, Mufti, man, not every masjid is like that, right? Sometimes, as a child, you go to the masjid, and, everyone's got a little bit of ants in their pants, and then you'll see an uncle and auntie be like,
Sounds like the buses I grew up around.
"Hey,
Man.
beta, sit down. Sit down.
Or don't come back to masjid.
Hey, you sit down. Where is
You
your
can't
father?"
sit at home.
Yes, right? Yeah, but it's all good. Alhamdulillah. I think we got good vibes at the Allen Masjid, right?
I think we got amazing vibes at the Allen Masjid, man.
All
You ever
right.
seen the Imam there? The Imam there is pretty cool people.
I haven't heard anyone say, "Hey, sit down," yet.
You got to come to Sunday school.
Oh, okay. Is that what's up, right? It's all at Sunday. It's all on Sunday.
Sunday and after school.
All right. Go
All
ahead.
right, chapter 2. On Monday at school, I rolled in with an imaginary Nerf blaster in my arms and targeted my best friend Charlie. He gave me the very same toothy grin that made me like him when I moved to the school recently. Then he pulled out his own blaster from under the table, imaginary too, of course, and pretended to blast me right back. I think his imagination has been getting stronger since we became friends, like a muscle does when you lift weights all day long. When Daniel saw us, he giggled and punched me on the arm. Don't worry, it was one of those friendly punches that don't hurt at all. Daniel is our friend now. He doesn't actually bully anyone anymore, not even Charlie, who used to be his favorite target of for all things horrible. There's no way we'd be friends with a bully, but it turns out Daniel had reasons for being so naughty at school. And now that he has us as friends to hang out with, he's totally different. Look at that. Helping someone after they urinate on themselves. All right. It's a Nerf laser blaster, I announced. Imaginary for now, but I'm going to get a real one with the money I have saved. Oh, cool, said Daniel. I want one too. Me too, chipped in Charlie. Let's all get them and have an epic Nerf battle. We can all pretend to be spies like James Bond chasing down an evil villain, Daniel excitedly said. Oh, yeah, Charlie and I said at the same time. We often say things at the same time, which is super funny and sometimes super freaky. Do you have enough money? I asked. No, but my mom said she was going to buy me something for Daniel sheepishly scratched the back of his head instead of finishing his sentence.
For what? Charlie and I did it again. Same words, same time, same wanting to know what Daniel was getting a treat for. For washing your dad's car, I guessed. For cleaning your room, Charlie guessed. Daniel did some more sheepish head scratching. I tried another guess. For getting 10 out of 10 on your spelling test. No. Actually, for settling in so much better at school and making such good friends, Daniel said, using air quotes as he blushed bright red. Charlie and I both jumped onto Daniel and gave him a big hug. I think he was blushing because he's not always 100% sure that we like him as our friend, but we super definitely do. We keep finding so many things that we like to do together, like the Nerf blasters. We couldn't help but talk about it all during math because it was way more exciting than learning about what a denominator was and how we could think about a pizza in fractions. The only thing I think when I see a pizza is how quick I can get it into my mouth. Mrs. Hutchinson was very excited about fractions. I could tell because her curly hair was all big and springy. That's one thing I like about Mrs. Hutchinson. She thinks everything is entertaining. I cannot wait for the Nerf battle. It's going to be crazy fun, I whispered. Charlie whispered back, I know! I just have to think of a way to convince my parents to buy me a blaster too. You do know that both of you whisper as loud as you talk, Daniel pointed out. He must have been right because Mrs. Hutchinson came over attempting to put her crossface on and said, Stop chatting and tell me how much pizza is on the board, boys. Not enough for me, said Daniel. And we all exploded with laughter. Ha, 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 ha. We had to clap our hands over our mouths quickly before Mrs. Hutchinson got upset. Then Charlie said 1/6 with his toothy grin. Whew! Mrs. Hutchinson was pleased enough, even with all of our giggling. I couldn't wait to get home and ask mom and dad if they were okay with us having a big Nerf showdown at home, and would they please order pizza that day. Maybe I could promise to talk about the pizza as fractions like Mrs. Hutchinson was doing, and then they'd be up for it for sure. Oh, so cheesy. They love brainy stuff like that. They say it's because they're scientists, but I think they're scientists because they like brainy stuff. It's like the chicken and egg situation. Which one came first? Are they scientists? That's why they like brainy stuff, or they like brainy stuff. That's why they turn into scientists.
All right, chapter 3. Mom picked me up on foot. Whoa. Did you just imagine her with a super huge foot lifting me off the ground? I did. But that's not what I meant. I meant that she didn't bring her car. She walked. This is her new thing. Walking as much as we can to help the environment and be in good shape like Batman. It takes 13 minutes or 467 steps to get home. I counted it the first time Mom made us walk, and that number is almost correct. It would be more correct if Risa hadn't interrupted my counting by singing Old MacDonald Farm at the top of his voice.
All right. Hold on one second. I'm with you. Where'd it go? Where'd my slides go?
Today,
Yeah.
instead of counting steps or imagining that if I stepped on a crack in the sidewalk, it would cause an earthquake, like I sometimes do, I asked Mom about the Nerf battle. Please, Mom, you're so pretty. I grinned. Funny, said Mom. You only tell me that when you want something.
Yep.
I laughed and switched on my pester-powered puppy dog eyes. Okay, fine, she said. As long as you don't use tomato paste as monster guts like you did with Reza.
Oh my God, that is such a mess. How you gonna put tomato paste in a Nerf gun? Oh my God.
Horrible.
Oh, that's just horrible. I wouldn't dream of it, I said, but my brain was bursting at the memory of how fun that had been. And when did you say you wanted to do it? She looked a bit sad now. I don't think it can be done this weekend because we have to go to a meeting at the mosque on Sunday. They need to talk to us about raising enough money to keep it from closing down. It was just announced today on the WhatsApp group. What? I said. That mosque, our mosque, the Secret Smile Mosque, for real? It's closing down? Smile Mosque, Mom said. Yeah, you and Dad have secret smiles in that mosque, I told her. Yes, then the Secret Smile Mosque. I couldn't believe it. My chest felt the way it did when our parakeet Dodo died when we lived in the old house. Wait, you said they have to raise money, right? So it might not have to close down. That's right. Hopefully it won't. I dragged my feet the rest of the way home. As soon as I got inside, I shot up the stairs to get my cash from its new hiding place, the best hiding place ever. It was rolled up in a green pair of underwear and placed carefully between my old shoes at the back of my closet. My underwear was something Mariam would never, ever touch, no matter how desperate she was. I took the 4,253 pennies, $42.53 downstairs and put it on the table. That's for my mosque, I declared. Mom got all melty-eyed. But you were going to buy your nerfy blasty thingy with that money, sweetie.
Nerf laser blaster, Mom. But it's okay. I want the mosque to have it. Now it won't have to shut down. I think they need a little bit more than that, dummy, said Mariam. Mariam, Mom scolded. Then she came and took my chin in her hand and said, this is so very wonderfully kind of you, Omar. I am very, very, very proud of you right now. I think the masjid does need a whole lot more, but we'll find out on Sunday just how much more. Mariam scoffed, I guess because Mom wasn't proud of her.
Whoa. Sorry.
However much they need, I will get it, I said. And I meant it. I super meant it.
Go, you still you.
Chapter 4. That night, when I closed my eyes to go to sleep, I kept seeing a dinosaur the size of an apartment building destroying the secret smile masjid with one flick of his tail. Oh, tail, not nail, tail, and then picking up the little pieces and putting them on his ice cream like they were sprinkles.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to imagine that happening to the masjid. I shook my head and jumped out of bed. I had a fantastic idea of playing my Xbox to distract myself.
That's a pretty good solution.
We just needed an excuse to play Xbox.
Oh my God. Yeah, I have so much on my mind. Hurry up. Let me play Switch. Let me play Xbox to get it off my mind.
The dinosaur's destroying the masjid. I need the Xbox, Mom.
The dinosaur is crumbling the masjid and sprinkling on his ice cream. Where's the Xbox? Go ahead.
But first, I had to silently sneak downstairs in the dark like a burglar, and I tiptoed out of my room, avoiding the spot where the squeaky floorboard was. To help me concentrate, I pretended I was stepping over security lasers on the stairs that would set off an alarm if I wasn't careful enough.
I made it! But just when I was about to buy a wicked new car in my game, Mom walked in and went wild. Omar, it's a school night! And what do I see? You're up at 10:30. Oh my God, 10:30, yeah, 10:30, yeah, she can scream. 10:30 on a school night. Mufti Omar, Mufti Nak, is 10:30 on a school night late?
Oh, absolutely.
So for those of you who are watching at home, you can stay up till 10:30 maybe this week, but not on a school night. No. Okay, you hear that?
Turn on the Xbox on time. Look, you can get up at 10:30 to go use the restroom, have some water, but to turn on the Xbox at 10:30,
oh my God,
that's a no-go.
10:30 on your Playbox? Playbox. I knew I was in trouble, but I couldn't help giggling. It's an Xbox, Mom. There's also such a thing as a PlayStation, which I wish I had as well, but no Playbox. Oh my God. Omar has some guts, man. Don't be smart. Into bed now, mister. Dad poked his head around the door and said, "You have 2 seconds to shut that off and get into bed, smarty pants. But it will take me at least 7 seconds to walk upstairs to my bed." "Right, that's it," said Dad. And he came and picked me up and held me under his arm like he would hold a soccer ball. Just like that. That's because he's big. He's really big and he's really strong. We both giggled as he plunked me down onto my bed. Dad put his finger to his lips and nodded towards the little snoring Isa. "Shh. Now get some sleep," he whispered. This time I closed my eyes. I saw Dad's secret smile. I couldn't bear the thought of him losing it. I had to dream up a clever way to raise more money.
Chapter 5. The next day at school, I waited till lunchtime to tell Daniel and Charlie that I was really sorry, but I wouldn't be able to buy a Nerf blaster for myself after all, which meant we couldn't have an epic Nerf battle. I didn't want to tell them in the morning because Mrs. Hutchinson had started the day with an awesome cookie decorating session for all of us. She had brought in all sorts of toppers and sprinklers and bits of fudge and M&Ms. And as you know, that isn't something that teachers do very often, unless you're in IA Sunday school. She said it was a lesson about how to prepare food. But I'm pretty sure it was mostly because she likes chocolate chips and she likes us. That's another reason why she's the best teacher ever. Charlie and Daniel were so happy, gobbling candy and piling all the available toppings onto cookies, that I just kept my mouth shut about the bad news. At lunchtime, we got smelly cauliflower, spring rolls with steamed carrots, which may as well have been steamed sloth fingers because they were so brown and gross. After we had finished complaining about the school cook and wondering how much it would cost to get a real chef at our school, I blurted out the bad news. "I have to tell you something. I can't buy a Nerf blaster anymore. Daniel jumped up as if his bottom had been pricked by a hedgehog and ran in circles around Charlie and me, screaming, "No!" Charlie looked at me with a smile so
Hey,
big.
do it in the slow motion. Do it in slow motion. Do it in slow motion.
Man,
Come on.
you gotta catch it when it's done, man. You gotta
Okay,
catch
there's
it.
another no on the other page. So do the
Exactly,
slow motion
exactly.
over
Coming
there.
again,
Yeah.
it's coming
Let's
again.
get this on record.
Charlie looked at me with a smile so big I could almost see his gums. He liked it when Daniel behaved all wild, as long as it wasn't against him or us, like it used to be. Because Daniel, I said loudly over his screaming, the masjid is going to close down if they don't have enough money. Daniel stopped suddenly with his jaw dropped and said, "Really?" "Yes, super really." "No!" He started up again, and this time Charlie and I joined in. When our lungs screamed back at us to stop, we fell onto the floor.
I had known Daniel would be upset too. Ever since we got lost together on the London Underground and when we were chased by a not really zombie, Daniel has often talked about the London Central Masjid because that's where he ended up being rescued. I think he's decided that masjids have superpowers or something. He even insisted on going to my local masjid with me once to see what it was like and whether they have halal candy there too. They do. Daniel ate 3 and went home with a blue tongue. We made a new friend there that day, a girl named Aisha, who doesn't go to our school, but she likes Batman almost as much as Daniel does. That kind of nice thing often happens at the mosque, not just for kids, but for grown-ups too. That's probably another reason why Dad has a secret smile there. He says that it isn't just a place for praying. It's a place where a single person becomes part of something bigger. I'm not exactly sure what he means by that, but I guess the mosque is quite a lot bigger than a house. You can fit everyone who goes there into our living room for tea and snacks. Although I bet my mom would try if she could. After we'd fallen down on the floor, we were all quiet for a little while. Then Daniel whispered, "No," in a very small voice. "No, no," Charlie whispered. "No," I whispered too. And we decided right there that we were all going to help the mosque together. All right. So
Awesome.
now we see where this is going, right? Their masjid's in trouble. The masjid's about to shut down. And this is going to continue to be a story of how young kids, Omar, Charlie, and Daniel, okay, are going to help with saving the masjid. And you know, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of really interesting things that are mentioned in this book. One of the things that was just mentioned right now, Mufti Noman, is that the masjid is not just a place to pray. Right? The masjid is not just a place to pray. Yes, the word masjid. What does masjid mean? Do you know what masjid means? Masjid. What do you think? What do you think masjid means? A place to what?
A place where a lot of sajda is done.
Sajda, right? A place to do sajda. Even though the place is called the place of sajda, which means prayer, it's not just about that. Masjid is where we go not just to connect with Allah, not just to worship Allah, not just to do sujood. A masjid is a place where we get closer to each other as a family, each other as a community. We make new friends. We get to see other uncles and aunties, and hopefully they're not always just trying to tell us to be quiet and hey, chup beto, right? And all that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, that is what a masjid is all about. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind. And here's another thing. Omar and his buddies are, you know, as we move forward in the book, they're going to figure out different ways to try to help their masjid. Why? Because, so hey, Mufti Noman, you know the Allen Masjid? Hey, who does it belong to? Does it belong to me?
I don't think so.
But I'm the Imam. Don't you think it should, though?
I see your parking spot. You might have a point, but I still don't think it's yours.
Hey, whose parking spot's next to mine?
Some random dude, man.
Yeah, some random dude on a microphone Saturday morning, sharing Planet Omar with me.
Nerf blasters, man.
Oh, so the masjid belongs to Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets everyone come to the masjid, everyone and anyone, as long as you're clean, right? You got to be clean. You can't just show up to the masjid like with dirty clothes and yeah. You definitely don't show up to the masjid in your pajamas unless we're having like a pajama etikaf sleepover, right? Then you can wear pajamas in the masjid. But the masjid is the home of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's where everyone is welcome. It's where everyone comes to pray and have fun and pray and play, right? So it's pretty amazing that we're talking about masjid and funds, because guess what? Do you know something that's happening on December 11th, perhaps? Do you know a little something that's happening? Let me go ahead and share with our viewers, okay? So on December 11th, and this was not planned at all, okay? This was not planned. This is not an ambush for you parents watching. But, on December 11th, inshallah, at 8 o'clock on Sunday, after Isha prayer, on Friday, December 11th, after 8 o'clock, online, and we're also going to have a drive-through where you can come around and see all of the amazing construction that is going on at the masjid right now. And everyone plays their part, everyone chips in and plays their part in helping the masjid of Allah, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, grow. And we're going to have a basketball court and a gym and all of these nice things, inshallah. Once we are post Rona, right? Once we're in the post-Corona era, inshallah, we are going to be welcomed by a bigger masjid. For those of you who have not seen the expansion yet, I would encourage you to go and, drive around the masjid, with your kids. Show them how the masjid is expanding. This is a memorable event. It's a memorable sight to see the place that we call our masjid, our community get-together place, to see that grow. To see, last night I had Brother Wasim on our program, and he was helping me. He was sharing his memory of how they went from the gas station to the little shopping plaza, and now we have such a nice, beautiful masjid. So, and it's gonna continue to grow. So, look who walks in! Look who walks in!
We have a visitor, a third guest.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's live, boys. Look at that! They're trying to be SEAL Team 6. Come on, Jamal, you can do it. Oh!
They were. That's their James Bond impersonation right there.
Yeah. James Bond in a red shirt.
That's Charlie and Armand right there.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much, Allen family, for joining us. Join us next time, inshallah, for story time. Probably not going to be this week since everyone's going to be busy enjoying their holidays. But inshallah, we will let you know when the next 5 chapters are going to be. In the meanwhile, you stay classy, Allen family. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't forget to check the link in the comment section and show us how your family enjoys story time. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum.